second video for this evening. That's the thing. When it comes to energy, when you stop putting your energy into things that do not serve you, you then have energy to put into yourself. Like, I know a lot of people have a lot of questions when it comes to like my energy, how I operate, how I keep going, how I just keep get up, my perseverance, my resilience, my fortitude. Like, I have that energy because I cut out the fat. I mean, I don't know how else to say it in a nice way. I just don't. And I hate to say it that way. I really do. Like I had this conversation with my coworker today and we were talking about things, and it gets so hard sometimes, me going down the pipeline of things, because I pick up on things, I remember things, and it puts things in perspective. And then I gotta digest it. I'm like, oof, that's a burn, that's a sting. Last October, I cut everybody out of my life. Every single body. Everyone. Aside from my parents, my son, obviously, and my family that I really don't speak to. I literally speak to my parents, every day. Obviously, I live with them. And then obviously my son, and that was it. And I went inside me and did all the work. And I worked with God and I worked with the divine, and I just worked through a lot of things within me and just trying to put together everything that I knew to be true, but I couldn't even realize what was happening around me, even though intuitively I knew, because I always had all these moving parts being moved strategically around me intentionally to put me in negative headspaces. I mean, it just was. From conversations that I had with girlfriends, from the work environments that I was working in, and the relationships and the bonds that I built at the work environments. And it was so obvious. It was so obvious. Same dance, different day with my last company, property management company. And so when I resigned from my second property management company, I then cut everybody off. And as soon as I cut everybody off, I went in and I started doing all the work within myself, and with God's help, the divine. And he just helped me see things so clearly. It was like, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. I can see now obstacles in my way. I can see all the obstacles in my way. I saw all the obstacles being put in my way strategically by other people intentionally. And I was like, oh, this. I was like, wait a minute. Why am I allowing this, and this to happen? Oh, wait, I need to work on that within myself. And so that's what I've been working on. And I'm going to put all of those items together for you. And I'm going to push it out into humanity to help humanity do the same thing. All right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to do that for you for free. Okay? Because I just want to see people elevate. And I want to see people get to the place where I'm at, where I'm walking in peace. I'm being authentically myself, unapologetically. And I'm not allowing the exterior world to make me feel any less on what I am, because I know what I carry inside of me, the Holy Spirit, the Christ conscience. And so I'm going to work on that. But it came to me today, a couple nuggets. Them versus me. Why? Why do we have people in this world that create a them versus me? For example, Charlie Kirk versus those that didn't like the recent questions he was asking. And the thing is, my Duolingo, I'm working on learning Spanish. My Duolingo just came up. I want to learn Spanish. I don't know that I will learn ever fluently, but I'm set. That's a goal. So I've been working with Duolingo on it because I really, truthfully see myself going to Spain at some point in my life. And who knows, maybe that's where my roots will stay. I don't know. But I do know that my mom was adopted from Spain, from Madrid, and I want to learn more about that culture. I feel called to it. I love the Spanish culture. I love Spain. I love Madrid. I love a lot. I love the Copa Mia series. I do. And it speaks to me. I feel more natural with the way that they operate. They operate on love, man. They operate on love. They operate on a good time, and they operate on people just being themselves. They just do. They do. I see it in their films. I see it in their culture. I see it in their essence. And I follow a few. I love Bad Bunny, even though I don't understand. I love a lot of his music. I'm excited for his Super Bowl. I hope he brings the culture to it. Like, lay it down, brother. Let's go. Let's go. I'm here for it, We just need more of that in the United States. We've lost sight of that. We've lost sight of that type of love. We have. We have, because we like money and power here in the United States. If you didn't know, now you know. Okay? That's what we are obsessed with. Not many people like doing things pro bono. We don't work for free here. That's not how we operate in the United States. I like to do a lot of things pro bono. I do indeed. I don't mind working pro bono. I know that baby gotta eat. So I do what I gotta do for baby gotta eat, but nobody puts baby in the corner. That's one thing you shouldn't do. That's a bad idea. As well as come at baby and think baby don't know. Baby does know. All right, baby does know. Cat's out of the bag. Pandora's out of the box. Baby knows, So it's one of those things. But if you find yourself on the fence of life, said life, the life that you're granted here on earth, right? Because we're all granted life, breath in our lungs, a heartbeat, right? If you find yourself in this life with your little heart, choosing to walk along the lines where you've created a war with anyone or everyone, where it's you versus said them, or they, them, or whatever, then that is something that you're going to have to go in and figure out why. Like, I don't have any silent wars. There's not anyone versus me. Now, if people choose to wage something against me, that is on their side. I don't wage anything with anyone. I don't. Do I stand 10 toes down? Do I stand on my truth? Yeah, absolutely. Am I who I am? Yeah. And I'm sorry. I know it fluffers a lot of people. I know it does, and I hate that. I wish we could find a common ground. The stuff that I have to go through at work, my first job, and just the synchronicities and patterns of the ignorance is ridiculous. And the childhood games, and I get tongue-tied. I do get tongue-tied. I'm very forgetful. And if you talk about the, mispronouncing of words and this and that, my burner phone, I'll pronounce words correctly, and then it'll put a word on there that's incorrect. But yeah, my spelling's not perfect neither, which it was so funny today on Candace's episode. I picked up on that. I'm like, I appreciate you, soul sister. Thank you. It's crazy. And then she mentioned the circle back. My previous boss said circle back to me. I can't tell you how many times. I can't. And that's why I have a little bit of a PTSD with that saying, because it sucked hearing all the time. I would always be crying out for help, and he would tell me he'd circle back to me, man. And so it stings a little. So it's not that I have any type of, negative qualms with it, but that's where that comes with in that, because it was always hard for me to hear. I'd be crying out for help, and I was like, I'll circle back to you, let me get back to you. And like nothing would happen. And it was like, well, here we are. And so again, free-flowing video, but it's one of those things, like once you stop putting energy in the exterior world, take a look at the big picture, ask yourself what's important to you. Are you on a team where it's like you versus someone, or you versus they, them? And you need to ask yourself, why? Why? Life was not designed to be us versus them. Like, it's not the Dems, it's not the Republicans, it's all of them. It's all of them. They are all connected to the SNAP benefits, period. Like, if you haven't figured that